What is up, YouTube, and welcome back to another review of the Rent-A-Girlfriend manga. We are on chapter 435, and obviously this is going to be a good chapter, right? Because the last chapter was basically just filler. So we're back into, the real story, the character development, all the bullshit that Rent-A-Girlfriend has. It should be in this chapter, obviously. Last chapter, like I just said, it was basically filler. It was boring, you know what I'm saying, dude? So the author has to bring it back up with the 435, obviously. So the beginning of this chapter starts off with Minnie asking Kazuya, by the way, did you actually confess to Chizuru, right? And Kazuya, of course, has this weird expression on his face, like, why the fuck are you even asking me that? But then he goes into deep thought about it, as you can see here. But what I'm really kind of pissed about right here is we're still on the fact that Kazuya has to confess here. I've said this a lot in these videos. I just don't get it, man. Why can't Chizuru confess? Kazuya has been doing recently everything. Realistically, he's been doing every single fucking thing in the relationship. I don't get, like, Chizuru's been doing nothing. Anyway, we move on to our cover art, and as you can see here, it's Minnie sitting on a fucking chair looking like an absolute fucking dog-ass character, because obviously Minnie is the best character in Rent-A-Girlfriend. No debate, obviously. I mean, look at her, bro. It's very clear. She's just... The presence of Minnie and the aura is just crazy right here, obviously, as you can tell. I assume she's, like, sitting in her house or something. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck she's doing, man. But as you can see, she's come out of retirement and come back in the story. So, maybe the story's looking up for once in her lifetime. Anyway, moving on, this entire conversation is basically about Kazuya and his confession, right? What is Kazuya gonna say when the time comes, obviously? Minnie kind of reassures Kazuya, I'm saying, be confident, be, all the above, obviously, right? But she kind of goes back on the fact that your confession doesn't need to be, some overly complicated thing, right? It's better to just have something simple, you know what I'm saying? And it's the best part about it having being simple, right, is the fact that there's nothing to, like, memorize, you know what I'm saying, dude? It's just very simple. It's easy to memorize, you've got it all there. The confidence is there for Kazuya. Anyway, Kazuya then realizes that, he has to be confident during this, right? Maybe he didn't take that into consideration before, but he's taking it into consideration now, right? He says, I need to lock my eyes with her eyes or whatever, just say it how it fucking is, you know what I'm saying? Say it how it fucking is, right, dude? And as you can see at the bottom here, he kind of imagines a scenario where this happens, right? He's about to do it. He's about to confess. And I mean, I guess something fucking happens that we'll see on the next page because, we don't get to see the end of it, so whatever. But then we see what really happens is that Kazuya takes a deep look into Chizuru's face, and he says she's too cute, so I guess it just interrupts his, his confession or whatever. Dude folded under zero fucking pressure whatsoever. Kazuya, if it goes like this, my man, you are absolutely cooked, bro. We are done for if it goes out like this, man. You can't go out like this. Anyway, Minnie starts kind of getting mad a little bit. She's like, what the fuck are you even doing, right? You need to go in with confidence, you know what I'm saying, dude? Minnie the mentor over here, you know what I'm saying? Basically the Kakashi of Rent-A-Girlfriend, obviously. She says, go in with confidence, Kazuya. For the love of God, please go in with confidence for the both of you, Kazuya and Chizuru. It's going to benefit you, but it's also going to benefit Chizuru. It's going to benefit fucking Minnie. It's going to benefit every fucking viewer, you know what I'm saying, dude? So please go in with confidence. That's what she says. Anyway, then we cut to Kazuya, doing sit-ups or whatever with his unnatural progression, because we all know Kazuya is on fucking tren and steroids and, all the above, obviously, dude. Dude's probably taking so many drugs and fucking supplements, man. You're a fake natty, Kazuya. You're fucking fake natty, dude. Unrealistic progression here within the next, like, how did he get the fucking abs in, like, a couple weeks? I will never know, Obviously, the steroids come into play here, obviously. Then we see Kazuya, kind of debating with himself about what he's going to do here, right? The real thing here is that, is Kazuya going to choke under the pressure, right? Is he going to get to the moment, and is everything going to be good until the moment, and does he just choke underneath the pressure, or does the confession succeed, and they finally start dating for the love of God? I don't know, and I'm not gonna be the one to tell you because I have no idea, man. Because the more and more it looks like it, dude, it kind of looks to me like he's a little bit worried, man. He's a little bit choking under the pressure right now, so we'll see what happens when the time comes. Anyway, we then cut to Kazuya doing whatever he's doing here, but then we see Kibe, which I don't really remember last time we even fucking saw Kibe, to be honest. And as you can see, Kibe looks like an absolute loser per usual, but he thinks he has aura. He has no aura whatsoever, man. But realistically, we see Kazuya here. He's kind of thinking about, okay, maybe I'll ask Kibe for some advice, some advice, what I'm saying? What's gonna, can he prepare me for the situation I'm about to enter into, all the bullshit that Kazuya's thinking about right now. Anyway, Kazuya kind of just like starts unloading all the shit he's been thinking about, right? And Kibe is just like looking at him kind of weird, but Kazuya starts talking about how, Chizuru has always been out of his league, can Kazuya, can he do it? Can he fucking take the final step? You know what I'm saying? He's worried about if Chizuru would just like disappear the next day or whatever, right? But I mean, I think Chizuru has shown enough. She's shown enough to where it's like she's definitely in it for, Kazuya, obviously. And Kazuya's in it for Chizuru, you know what I'm saying? Like, she's shown enough to where it's compatible now. So Kibe kind of responds back with, what he's been thinking about recently or whatever, right? He says, I've kind of a few thoughts about, the whole fucking shit, you know what I'm saying? He brings up the Hawaiian shit, how they all just got fucked over right there, obviously, man. But, Kibe ultimately says, but, I'm pretty, sure that Kazuya, of course, loved Chizuru at some point, basically, so whatever. I guess we'll all just go fuck ourselves, pretty much. I guess that's really what I'm getting here, is that everyone can just go fuck themselves, to be honest, man. Fuck it. Who cares? But then Kibe kind of starts glazing Kazuya here, right? He says at the top here, he says, I kind of thought it was ridiculous how a girl who sells herself can find love, right? Or something along those lines, right? That's what he thought originally, but then he kind of thought back on that idea and he's like, how is the girl ever going to, find love or get married, obviously, with that? So he kind of changed his mind there a little bit. Then he starts glazing fucking Kazuya here. He says, you have complete faith in the person you love, and to me, that makes you a hero. I don't know what Kazuya's done to be considered a hero, apparently, but I mean, the glaze is just crazy. And then Kibe kind of throws in an insult here. He says, a hero with crusty socks, but a hero nonetheless. Which I don't know if anyone need to know that Kazuya has crusty socks. I don't think anyone want to know that, but I mean, okay, whatever. We move. Anyway, the conversation between Kazuya and Kibe ends with Kibe saying, I didn't get much sleep last night. Sorry if I said anything weird. Which I don't really think he said anything weird, I don't think. So, I mean, whatever, right? I don't know where that conversation got realistically anyone there, but it seems Kazuya's pretty locked in, so whatever, I guess. We then go to fucking Chizuru, and she's over here looking like Sadako, you know what I'm saying, man? I don't really know what the fuck that even is, man. I'm not gonna talk about that, but we see this conversation she's having with, like, maybe a director or something. I don't really know who that's supposed to be, but Chizuru seems to like her, and they're talking about, the acting stuff that they're doing or whatever. So shout out to her, I guess. New characters are always warranted. Shout out to new characters, whatever. Anyway, this new character mentions about having a party, right? After, whatever, the play or whatever she's doing, right? And she says, okay, I've been thinking about doing the party on July 11th. And Chizuru's like, hold the fuck up, you know what I'm saying? Hold the fuck up. I have something to do on July 11th, you know what I'm saying? She's at the bottom left here. She goes, actually, nerd voice. She starts thinking about Kazi and stuff, right? She's like, okay, I got something to do on July 11th, obviously. She says, I have plans on that day in particular. No, I can't reschedule it for anything. You know what I'm saying, dude? So even though Chizuru, wants to go to this party, right? She's opting to, go to the date, obviously, right? It proves that, she's taking it seriously now. She's not bullshitting it up anymore. You know what I'm saying, dude? She's waited, everyone's fucking waited long enough here, man. She's ready to just fucking, let's get it over with. You know what I'm saying? So Cheezer, you know, she kindly rejects the party invite. She's like, maybe reschedule that shit, bro. I got stuff to do on July 11th, right? She talks about how she can't delay the fucking shit any longer. You know what I'm saying, dude? This is the time. The present is the best time period. It's time to fucking do this, right? She says, I have to get through the play stuff first so I can have a clear conscience heading into July 11th, right? So as we see, Chizuru is very much taking it seriously. But then maybe the worst thing I've ever seen in my life happens right here. Umi comes in trying to like say hi to Chizuru like, buddy. Listen here, pal. Listen here, buddy. Just accept the fact that you are a loser, Umi. You are a bum. You lost. You lost to Kazuya, my guy. When is he gonna accept the fact? Probably never, man. I don't know what he's gonna talk about. Probably something with Ruka or whatever, right? But I mean, Umi, just accept the fact, bro, that you lost, okay? We don't need you anymore, man. You're a bum. But that's how it ends off, right? That's how the chapter ends off. So, I mean, I guess we'll see what happens next chapter with the conversation. But, I mean, fuck Umi. Anyway, this chapter of Rent-A-Girlfriend gets an 8 out of 10 on my Rent-A-Girlfriend scale. I really actually enjoyed this chapter a lot. There was a nice blend of characters, nice blend of dialogue happening, and a really great, you know, fucking ending, obviously, with Umi coming in, right? Leave suspense for, you know, next chapter, right? Not much to talk about, though, in my opinion. It seems that we're just kind of closing in on the July 11th date, man. Whenever that chapter comes out, bro, my balls will be dropping. You know, that's all I'm saying, man. I'll see all of you next Tuesday for another review of Rent-A-Girlfriend, you know. We'll see what happens with the Umi shit, you know. Hopefully he doesn't fucking ruin everything. Although he probably will. Let's be real. He probably fucking will ruin everything.